All right, everyone. Sorry about that. The show must go on. I apologize for all of that. Just having some technical difficulties, but we are back. We are here. So just to give you a quick highlight of what we're talking about, is we're going to be talking about, like I mentioned earlier on before we had our issues with our technical issues, we're going to be talking about what's trending right now with Wizkid as it relates to his decision to cancel his show that was scheduled for yesterday in Accra, Ghana. This is a show that has been anticipated, and he did not show up. I'm going to give you guys the rundown on that and why that decision not to show up was a smart decision on his part. Then we're going to talk about Asiwaju, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, one of the presidential candidate for the position of president of Nigeria. And we're going to talk about his recent debacle when he visited London, the Chatham House in London, and what occurred during that whole process. I'm going to give you guys my own analysis on that. And then finally, we're going to talk about D'banj. I'm going to tell you guys that he got arrested and released. I'm going to give you my take on that situation. So let's just get right into it. So there's quite a few things I want to talk about. So let's just go right into this situation. All right. So let's talk about Wizkid. All right. So Wizkid has angered a lot of his fans, especially in Ghana. So there was a show that he was supposed to attend in Ghana yesterday, which he did not attend. And so here's my take on that. So Ghanaians are mad. They're upset. They're pissed off. They're mad at Wizkid for not attending the show yesterday, leaving them hanging. They were there all the way till 4 o'clock in the morning. How dare he? What's going on here? Okay. So I started this show by saying that Wizkid did a smart thing by not attending that show. Here's why I said that. I'm going to show you a footage of the show from last night, because Wizkid was in Ghana. Okay, he dropped ground a couple of days. People even saw him a day before the event. They saw him on the 9th. He was there for rehearsal, for sound check. The entire thing was being built and all of that. So people were excited. This show was going to go on. So Wizkid was in Ghana, but for some reason he decided that I'm not going to be on this show. I'm not doing it. Okay. I think for the reasons, this is why I think, and this is why I think that he decided not to show up. Let me show you this event. Let me show you. Here's the event in Ghana. Junky performed, right? Here's the event last night in Ghana. See the crowd here? You see that? See these empty seats? You see that? Let me go back here. Let me, even while Jack, look at these empty seats right here. This is a 4,000 capacity arena. We're talking about it's a large stadium, large. This is the same one that's, the games are held on. So this is a major event. The ticket price went from anywhere $21 as upwards as $8,000 a pop for like the special VIP section seats. You had very table seats that were $2,500, $5,000, $8,000. As low as $21, which you convert that to the Ghana cedis, is $275 Ghana cedi. So the individuals you're seeing right here, the ones up front, these are the ones that probably paid, the low end, amount. But nonetheless, the tickets were very high. This was astronomically high. So that to me was, first of all, was a bad decision. I don't know who in their right mind thought that anyone at this time would be able to afford a ticket of $8,000. So here's why. That's why I think it was smart for Wizkid to pull out, because the crowd you're seeing, the size of the crowd you're seeing, is not a person for that is a small size for a person like Wizkid. right? Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. The arena is a 40,000 arena, 40,000 capacity arena. I think it's very lofty. I think it was very lofty for Wizkid to think he can sell that whole thing out. Now, I don't know if his whole goal was to sell it out, but that was a lofty idea. But nonetheless, we're talking about Wizkid here. Wizkid knows how to draw a crowd. He has sold out the O2 Arena several times. This is the same guy that sold out 3 shows at the O2 Arena in 35 minutes. He is one of the people that have sold out the arena in O2 under 12 minutes. Wizkid is one. Rihanna is another. He is not someone that can now draw a crowd. That is not what we have. That's not what's going on here. He pulls in the crowd. He's at the top of his game. He's at his height of his game. Do you expect someone like him, who sells out 20,000 arena like it was nothing, to now come to a show where the organizers failed? This is on the organizers, by the way, where they failed to do their part to even get a third of what he's used to in that show. That crowd right there, it's like 5,000 people there, or even less. That would hurt his brand. That would hurt his brand. Now, I know many people will not like what I just said, and I understand that people are upset. Now, the organizer said they're going to give them their money back, so you get your money back. But when you get to the height of your career, as Wizkid has got, you are expected to have a packed house. You were expected. Now, when you go to an arena, 40,000, even if he didn't even get half of that, right? And that's not on Wizkid, by the way. Because Wizkid, we know he pulls crowds. So that's on whoever was advertising the whole thing, right? Or it could also be based on the timing of it. The whole world is right now, there's a pending recession that's coming up. The ticket sales, the ticket price for a period in time right now, people can afford that. People can't afford that. That's an astronomical number. It's ridiculous for you to think that anyone will be able to afford ticket price sale of $8,000, $5,000 a seat. It's ridiculous. So I think that was a miscalculation on his part, and that was not a smart idea to really price the show at that height in an economic environment like we're on right now. Because everyone right now, there's a looming recession, like I said. It's going to affect everyone. It's a global recession. Ghana right now is going through an economic crisis. The country is going on economic crisis. Not just Ghana. Many countries are going through it. People have a hard time surviving. People have a hard time paying their day-to-day expenses. There's an economic issue going on. I think Wizkid should have considered that when putting his pricing on board. He should have. Right? So I think that was a major problem. And I think that whoever set the price ticket, that was the issue. They should have not set it that high. But nonetheless, I think the issue here was with the organizers and the promoters and whoever it is that set it up. Has nothing to do with the artist. Wizkid did the right thing by pulling out, because had he gone on stage yesterday and performed to a crowd, it would hurt his brand. Now, I know most people will not like this because you don't understand what it's like. The artists do this. Actors do this. They take a role, and then the sequel of that role, they can't do the sequel because the sequel isn't paying what they're used to. You can't pay their mark. You can't. It's let me give you one example. You remember, and I will give you this example because most of you know this this individual. Get this guy off. Chris Tucker. Okay, you guys know him. So when he did Friday, okay, he was not a huge star. Okay, he was not a huge star. Now, during the time he did Friday was a successful movie. It was successful. It actually gave him his platform, made him the Chris Tucker that we all know today, right? Now, in that time period, he moved on and he did Rush Hour. And he did Rush Hour 2. And in Rush Hour 2, they paid him $20 million for Rush Hour 2. And then after Rush Hour 2, Ice Cube wanted him to come back and do Friday for a lesser amount. He was like, no, and rightfully so. He said, I'll do it, but you gotta give me my marker. I'm at 20 million now. Do you understand that? So it's not an unknown thing. It's a curse of artists, and it's also a blessing for them, because when they get to a certain point, they can't. It hurts their brand, because had Wizkid gone on stage and performed in this, right, that will hurt his international brand all over. This is the same guy that closed the O2 Arena several times like it was nothing. Now, you think people would see that and look at Wizkid and say, oh, wow, it will hurt his brand. Now, of course, his fans were mad. They were upset, rightfully so. And there was this whole thing that he breached his contract. I don't think he breached his contract. There's always clause in this artist contract that says that the artist can pull out and decide to pull out whenever he decides to pull out. There's always a clause in the contract. They put this in on every contract. It's not a breach of contract, right? Now, it wasn't it doesn't look good in terms of PR, right? It doesn't, because people are upset at this, and these people are mad. They're all going to get their money back, but they're upset, and rightfully so. But you have to understand it from the artist's perspective. The artist's perspective, that when an artist does a show, he's doing a show and planning for his next show. Okay, your show is not it. While big and while important that show is, your show is not it. He's got a plan for the next show. And so if he's hurt on the next show because of this show, it's not worth it for the artist. So I think that's what happened. I think he came out and saw that no one's attending this show. No one is here. And as megastar as he is, he's like, dude, I'm not performing. I think that's what occurred. People don't like this, but that's the reality of it. Right? And that would just been a bad thing for him to do, especially with the fact that he was also, Wizkid has been trending the last week or two. Especially, he made a comment that rap was dead. This was huge controversy and huge thing that people attacked him for it. Now, people would have tied that to it and thought that, was it because he made that comment that he lost fans? And now people are upset about upset with him. That's why the crowd looked that way. It would just be a whole lot of perception that just would have not been good for his brand. So as a business decision, that was a smart business decision that he made, in my humble opinion. And so that's that. And by the way, rap is just to touch on that part with rap. Rap is not dead. I know what he was saying. I know what Wizkid was alluding to. Rap is not dead. Is it popular? No, it's no longer popular, but it's not dead. There's still people making money from rap. And so rap isn't dead. It still has a life cycle, and it's still something that people enjoy. I think what he was alluding to was that Nigerian artists, I think those are who he was addressing. Nigerian artists or African artists who are trying to rap, that would just be a wrong move. And to his point, I would agree with that, because the traction for rap isn't gaining momentum. The whole rap thing is dying off. It's not dead, but it's dying off. So anyone looking to be an artist today and trying to jump into the whole rapping thing is just literally just going the wrong route, because most people aren't jiving to rap. Rap has had its time and is moved on and is no longer as popular today as it was back in the days. So I think that that's what he meant, but people jumped on him like he was saying something crazy. No, he wasn't. So that's my whole thing. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this would be the last show for the year. So we are not going to have any more show till 2023. In 2023, I will mostly be doing live segment to engage with you all, and also really kind of bring you latest news as we uncover them. And so, but this will be the last show for the year. I will see you all in 2023. Have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your loved ones. And Happy New Year if we don't talk till then. And until then, see you in the new year. Bye-bye.